Hello, my YouTube world. This is Johnny Moe, coming to you from my office, and I want to do some videos, give you a little update where we're going, what we want to do with this channel going forward. You know, I watched a lot of YouTube over the last 3-4 months. A lot of information has really helped me out, so I'd like to give back a little bit. So going forward, what I want to do is I want to focus this channel on the companies that are making between $50,000 and $250,000. I want to focus on solo guys who want to go, they want to grow their business. They want to get into the 2, 3, 4 employee range. I want to run some multiple crews. So I'm going to be focusing videos strictly in those areas. And the reason why I'm doing this video and letting you know is I don't want to offend other solo people. Like years ago when I was on Lawn Site, you'd ask for advice, and then you would get a lot of solo guys who put 100, 150 hours a year on their mower, and you're giving a company that puts 900 hours a year on their mower advice, or trying to tell you how to run your company. And it just doesn't work out. I mean, your perspective is not, you can't do it. I've been solo for almost a decade of my almost 20 years in business, so I can give advice on solo. I know exactly routing and equipment wise, and I could almost basically look at a company at this stage in my career and kind of like I kind of know where they're at just by the equipment they use, if it's walk behind, zero turns, and what part of the neighborhood they're in. And it's cool to be solo. I mean, you can make a lot of money being solo. I mean, think about it. You're going to make between $40,000 and $60,000 at your highest peak of being solo. That means your route's tight. You've got the right equipment. You're banging through lawns. But the problem is you're banging your head on that lid. And so basically, if you're going to max yourself out about 60 grand a year, you're going to be running about 6 days. It's going to be very hard to keep up when it rains, and you have between 40 and 50 lawns. That's about as much as you can do being solo. And I know there's going to be a lot of guys get on here and are going to say, oh man, I do 20 lawns a day solo. God bless you. I understand you're an anomaly. But me being solo and knowing the equipment that I have, I pretty much know, even if you're on postage stamps, it's a solo guy. I mean, you really got to have them packed in tight, and you got to have some years to do that. I mean, you'd have to have like 10 on a street, move over to another street and do another 10, basically to do 20 a day. I mean, you're not dealing with a rookie here. I understand. And that was what was happening on Lawn Site a lot, was a lot of guys on there projecting themselves as a lot bigger than what they really were and giving advice that they shouldn't be giving. So I kind of just removed myself from Lawn Site. And again, nothing wrong with being solo. Did it for a decade, but then I reached a point where I couldn't go any further, and I needed to hire someone, and they needed to hire someone else. And we took it to 2 crews. Now we're back to 1 crew. So there's a lot of advice that I need from you guys, and there's a lot of advice that I can offer for you guys, especially those who want to go from being solo to crews, or between $50,000 and $250,000 companies. There's a lot of advice we can offer each other and glean from each other, and that's what this channel is about. I just don't want to offend everyone by saying, I don't do anything under $35. I don't drop my trailer for anything under $35. And there's reasons, and I'll explain that in the future. Or I only use 60-inch zero turns on postage stamps. It's just the truth. That's just what I do. And we don't do a lot of postage stamps for that reason. We have an older section here where I could go in and do a bunch of $25 lawns, and I could. It's just not as profitable, because to make them profitable I have to use a 60-inch zero turn. Huge trailer, huge truck. Trying to park in a place where they park on the street, or the driveway. They have driveways backed up, and if I park on this property, I lower the gate, it blocks the next door neighbor's driveway. It just doesn't work for us. It may work for you, and that's cool, man. I respect it, but it just doesn't work for us. So going forward, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give advice, and hopefully receive some advice going forward for that size company between $50,000 and $1,000. There's just not a lot of information out there for us. You know, I subscribe to Landscape Management, Lawn and Landscape, Turf Magazine, Snow and Business, and they're all geared towards the $1 million companies, you know, running multiple crews, growing huge, huge, huge. I just don't live in an area where, you know, right now we don't have any $1 million companies. And, you know, the county seat of our town, which is the biggest, is 23,000 people, and it's dropping every year. I live in the Rust Belt. I mean, they're just flying out the doors. So there's not really possible for us to have $1 million companies running around. So it doesn't make sense for me to try to, you know, gear it towards hiring 30 people. You have to spread it out to, you know, 7, 8, 9 county wide, and you know, now you're driving all over the place, and you start to lose a little bit of the, you know, the reason why you got in business. But again, just wanted to go that route, let you know what we're doing going forward, give some business advice about snow removal, landscaping, snow, turf fertilization. We offer that. We're a year-round company. We can help. You know, if you need some advice, we can help. Don't want to argue with anybody, so I'd appreciate it. So if I do a video on why we don't charge anything less than $35, you know, I'd really appreciate it if you didn't write, oh, you know what, you're so stupid, you have no idea, you know, you can make a lot of money. You could, but when you add workman's comp and unemployment, which both are at 10%. Now think about this. If your employee's making $30,000 a year, 10% of 30,000 is what? 3,000. Your unemployment is about 11%, because you're going to lay him off at the end of the year, so he's going to collect for about 4 or 5 months. That's another 11%. That's $6,000 right there. And you're going to drop your trailer for $25. You're not even going to make $1,000 a year off of that $25 lawn generally. So you need at least 6 of those lawns just to pay for the extra that comes with owning an employee. Those two taxes alone just blow that out. So you have to kind of go for the larger dollar. You got to travel a little bit further, maybe 15, 20 minutes from your house, like I do, to get into the larger properties to make it more profitable. You know, I'd rather, you know, it's hard to line up in our town anyway, like 10 lawns at $25 on a street to where you're not moving the trailer. So it's a little bit different. And so that's where I want to gear it towards. And I appreciate everyone out there who's helped me out. I appreciate, you know, the guys that have these channels out here, and they're just really helping people out. There's some really awesome channels that get a lot of good advice from. There's some guys I follow every week, and they give a lot of good information out there. So that's what we're going to be doing going forward. And I appreciate any advice you can give me. I am between the $125,000 to $250,000 company that can really help you go from being solo into being a larger company. And if you want to ask, is it worth it to have employees? Yes and no. You're not going to get above $60,000 generally without having employees. If you want to get past the 60, you're going to have some employees. Probably have to update some equipment, and so that's where we're going. I want to say thank you for watching my videos, and stay tuned in the future. You know, we're going to let you know how the finances go. My next video is going to be on finances, how finances go in lawn and landscape businesses, meaning from, you know, generally we start around April 1st mowing grass and doing spring cleanups, and we end around November, around Thanksgiving. And, you know, we're going to talk about some finances for a company that's between $50,000 and $250,000. Just want to say thank you, YouTube, and stay tuned for more videos. And that's where we're going to be heading with our YouTube page. It's going to be I'm going to give advice for the solo who wants to go into multiple crews. We can give each other advice from $60,000 to $250,000, usually that company there. So thanks. Have a great day, guys.